Welcome to this video on project management planning. Let's learn together how to plan for a successful project. In this video, you will learn why planning is important, the steps of planning, and together we will have a short implementation project on how to create a project plan in Excel. The importance of planning. In project management, we are faced with three main parameters: time, cost, scope, and quality. These three parameters are crucial to the success of our project. In the following, we'll discuss every one of those and why they are important. Time. In our project, we will have due dates from the customer, and we will also have start dates of next projects. We are also faced with an availability of resources. For example, how long can we rent this office space, or how many people can I have for this certain amount of time? And of course, time will also contribute to customer satisfaction. You may know this from your own experience. If something is delivered later than promised to you, you won't be happy. Scope and quality. It is important to meet the project goal. So, in other words, to stay in scope of your project deliverables. This means to also meet customer expectations, because whatever you defined to be within your scope is defined as your deliverable to the customer. At this point, it is also important to know what is and what isn't part of the project, to avoid spending a lot of time with things that will not contribute to the project success and overall project goal. Just as time, scope, and quality is also crucial to customer satisfaction. Again, you may know this from your own experience. If something is delivered to you you didn't order, you will not be happy. This might be in the case of online shopping or even ordering something at the restaurant. Now on to cost. Cost is the third crucial parameter in project management. You don't want to exceed your customer's budget, and you want to stay profitable. To stay profitable, you have to keep your internal costs below price you're acquiring from the customer. Let's, for example, you are doing a project for a customer which costs $100. Your internal calculation is that you will need only 1 hour to complete this and have your internal cost at $40. In this case, your profit margin is $60. Let's say, for instance, you have some difficulties and challenges in your project which were unexpected. Now you all of a sudden have to spend $120 for internal cost. Now you won't be profitable anymore because you're still bound to the $100 budget you promised your customer. It is clear that this point is also crucial to customer satisfaction. And again, from your own experience, if you ordered something with a promised price, you expect that that price is met, and if that price is exceeded, you won't be happy as a customer. As a summary, a project is successful if it is in time, in budget, and in scope. The tricky part is that these three parameters are always in trade-off. If you're trying to improve your time on the project, your budget will go up, so your costs, and you may not be able to complete all the tasks which you define to be in your scope. If you're trying to improve your budget, your costs, so to speak, to lower your costs, your time will go up. if you want to meet your scope. Otherwise, you may have to sacrifice parts of the deliverables of your scope, and time may still go up. And if you want to improve the delivery of the tasks you define to be in your scope and improve the quality, budget will go up, so does the cost and time. The planning steps of a project plan. First, you should define the desired project outcome and the deliverables to be clear on what the project goal is. Next, you can detect your project phases and plan the order of your project steps. Now it is time to estimate the amount of required work for each project step and consider the constraints of due dates, the size of your team, and budget. If all that is clear, you can assign time slots and people to your project steps. Let's now look at an implementation project in Excel on how to create a project plan. Together we will create this simple project plan using very basic methods and tools of Excel. There's no programming required. We're starting off with a blank sheet in Excel. In this example, we will create a project plan for a product development project of any kind. Down here, we have a legend, and we're tracking the version as well. Now, in the first step, we want to insert the time frame we're planning to work this project in. Then we're marking all the dates which are not available for the project, for example, weekends, and also important dates or, let's say, coaching halts, which contribute to the project. You may also take in consideration when your team is on vacation and plan those time slots in as well. In the following step, we can now plan for the project phases. In this case being the first stage, initiation, second, planning, third, execution and control, and fourth, closure. Following the definition of the phases, we can now fill in the certain steps of each phase and assess how many people do we need and how much time will it require. Then we can go in and plan for the time slots for each project step and also plan for the team meetings. To talk this simple example through, in initiation phase of a project or project development, we would have a kickoff meeting, a definition of the desired outcome, a mission statement, the concept of operations, and then most likely a presentation in some kind or another. In the planning phase, we are looking at what are our requirements, what are the functions, what is the function structure. We will come up with possible concepts and sketches, and then have an evaluation of those concepts, and most likely again a presentation at the end of this phase. In the phase of execution and control, we will then take this concept and create a final design, and then do an evaluation of this design to check if the requirements and desired functions which the customer wanted are met, and then again have a presentation at the end. For closure, there will be a written documentation, a final presentation, and at the very end, a summary of best practices. The red marks are your milestones, which mark the major points in your project. The blue lanes are your processes in your project. Gray is again for time off, and green might be a coaching call or a feedback call some of the stakeholders. Now that we have done a simple implementation example in Excel on how to create a project plan, you have now all the tools you need to create a project plan yourself. Of course, these methods can be adopted as needed, and creating a project plan in Excel is not the only way to do it. There are many softwares and tools out there which help you to do this job. In this case, it was a very simple project and only with a project duration of about 3 months. In this regard, thank you very much for joining this video on project management planning, how to plan for a successful project. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments. And if you liked this video, please like and subscribe for future content.